Today I'm going to show you how to make double chocolate shortbread biscuits. You will need 175 grams of plain flour, 125 grams of diced butter, 50 grams of demerara sugar, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and 100 grams of chocolate. Firstly, in a bowl, to your flour add your sugar and your cocoa powder and mix until really well combined. Then add your butter, and then using the tips of your fingers you just want to push the butter into your flour mix until it resembles breadcrumbs. And then once it resembles breadcrumbs, you then want to try and bring it together into a dough. So I just start trying to bring it together into a dough. It does take a little bit of time, but it will come together in the end. Then you just want to flour your work surface and roll out your biscuit dough. You want to roll it out so it's fairly thick. I tried to do mine so then they were a good 1.5 centimetres thick, but yeah, you ideally want them a little bit thick. Then you want to cut your biscuit dough into rectangles. If you want to do shapes, you can do, but we're actually going to dip the biscuits once they're cooked, so I find that rectangles are easier to dip. And then any excess biscuit dough, just pop to one side, push it back together into a dough and then roll it out, and you just want to keep rolling out until you've got no more dough left. Then pop your biscuits onto a pre-lined baking tray, and with a fork you just want to press over the top of each of the biscuits. So not only does it look nice, but it also helps to bake the biscuit properly as well. Then you want to pop this in a preheated oven at gas mark 5, 190 degrees centigrade or 170 fan assisted for 20 minutes. Then just leave your biscuits to cool. Then once your biscuits are cooled, you then want to melt your chocolate. So if you have a bar of chocolate, just chop it up so then it's kind of rough chunks. I find chocolate chips are quite handy because they're already small. Then put your chocolate into a microwavable mug. So I actually have a glass, it's like a glass coffee mug, so I know that it's microwavable, but if you wanted to use like a cup or a mug that you know is microwavable, you can use that. Pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds, give it a good mix, and then pop it in for an additional 20. Ideally it should just need one additional 20, but you might need a couple, until it is nearly melted, and then just give it a really good stir, and then it should hopefully melt all that chocolate together. So the reason why I say a microwavable mug or cup is because when we dip the chocolate biscuits into it, it is easier to coat than using a bowl, because a bowl you're not really going to be able to dip it, so like a cup or a mug is easier to dip the biscuit into. So that's all you're going to do now, is just take your biscuits, dip it into the chocolate. I did scrape off some of the excess chocolate just because it was quite thick, and I wanted to leave some chocolate behind to be able to dip all of my biscuits. Then pop your biscuits back onto your pre-lined baking tray and then just pop them in the fridge to allow the chocolate to set. And there you have it. That is how you make double chocolate shortbread biscuits.